Hi friends, in today's video, I'm going to talk about 10 lessons that I have learned from this wonderful book titled The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. So let's begin. Oh, sorry. This classic book has been written and first published in 1926. Can you even imagine that in the next 3 years, it will be 100 years since this book has been published? And it has surely stood the test of times. Well, this book talks about financial principles through various parables to make it easy for the reader to understand it. This book talks about personal finance, financial planning, and everything we need to know about how to grow our money and save our money. So let's quickly jump into the lessons that I have learned from this book. Lesson number 1, pay yourself first. Well, the core idea of this book is to pay a certain sum of money or to save a certain sum of money for your own self before spending it on other things. This book talks about saving at least 10% of your income. Put it in such devices which will create wealth for you. But in today's scenario, I guess the percentage of money that you are going to save may change or may vary as per your age, as per your source of income, as per your job or business, or as per the country that you are living in. So be wise to save a certain sum of money and put it in some investment vehicle to let it grow and create wealth for you. Lesson number 2, live below your means. Well, this book encourages the readers to take drastic steps to live below your means for a certain period of time so that you can accumulate wealth and so that you can grow wealth for later part of your life. Well, living below your means does not mean to be misers, but living below your means definitely mean that you should not be spending heavily on luxuries of life. Spending on your needs is a necessity, but spending on your greed and the luxuries, I would consider it a crime that you are doing to your own self, a wrong that you are doing to your own self. So live below your means and try to save the money for the better future. Well, to do this, we need to understand what are luxuries. Well, talking about luxuries, I would define luxuries as the things and services which can be avoided, which are not a necessity. Like if you are a frequent traveler by air, traveling in an economy class can be a necessity, but traveling in a business class can be luxury. Having an iPhone when you can still be okay with an Android phone is a luxury. Going on an expensive holiday in spite of knowing that we can have cheaper options is a luxury. Dear friends, don't deprive yourself of fun and enjoyment, but do understand where to spend and where not to spend. Lesson number 3, make money work for you. Well, the characters in this book are advised to put their savings to work by investing wisely. And the importance of compound interest is also stressed by making the readers understand that how your money can grow exponentially if it is invested at the right time and in the right investment vehicle. Well, in today's scenario, we also understand that how important it is to invest our money in different fields to make it grow. In my opinion, money in your savings account or your current account is dead money. That's because it is depreciating in value every moment. So we need to choose to invest and we need to be sensible to start investing as early as possible. The fourth lesson that I have learned is seek knowledge and education. Well, this book emphasizes a lot on improving your financial knowledge day by day and learning every day something about finances. It also stresses on choosing the right people to take advice from those who are well versed in their financial matters. And I totally agree with this because in today's scenario, you need to be in a group or your peer group should be one which knows something about personal finances. That's because if your friends and your peers are bad at taking financial decisions, at one point of life, it will affect you too. So choose your friends wisely and grow together. Lesson number 5, avoid debts and pay debts promptly. Well, this book emphasizes a lot on avoiding debts and paying out your debts at the earliest. This book says that if you are already having a debt, you are losing out on your money which can be invested somewhere. You are losing out on wealth building. Let's understand this with an example. Let's suppose you have taken a personal loan and the EMI that you have to pay is 10,000 rupees per month. Well, if you don't close your personal loan at the earliest, you are losing out on the money which can be invested, this 10,000. You can grow this money at 12 to 15% CAGR every year. Because if you invest this 10,000, you can grow this money at a rate of 12 to 15% every year. But for doing this, what is necessary is that you should have that 10,000 free with you, which can only happen if you don't have any debt on your head. Lesson number 6, invest wisely. Well, this book talks a lot about investing your money wisely. It also talks about choosing the right kind of investment vehicle to grow your money. Well, it encourages diversification and it also warns the readers from speculative investment plans which promise you a very high rate of return. Well, in today's time also it stands correct. That's because in today's time there are so many investment vehicles which promises you high rate of return, but often we forget to understand the risk involved in that. So you need to choose your investment vehicles wisely and you need to have a speculative target in your mind, what investment you are making and what is the rate of interest that you want to get from that. That's because blindly trusting every financial vehicle that is thrown at you will harm your financial growth. So be wise in selecting your investments. Lesson number 7, protect your wealth. Well, this book addresses and stresses a lot on protecting your wealth from certain unexpected misfortunes. In today's scenario, this can be done by taking the right kind of insurance. For example, taking a health insurance on the right time will save you from any unexpected health emergency in the future. Taking a proper life cover will save your family from going bankrupt. Let's suppose you are not there tomorrow. So in this way, we should be sensible enough to protect our money from all the unprecedented events in our life. Lesson number 8, work diligently and ethically. Well, this book stresses a lot on hard work. That is very natural. But through the parables, it is also stressed that you should have ethics. You should work ethically. This stands so important in today's scenario. We have heard a lot about there is a cutthroat competition in our business, there is a cutthroat competition in the corporate world, there is a rat race and nobody cares for the others. Everybody is working hard today. But we need to ask ourselves one question. How many of us are working ethically? How many of us are having professional and business ethics? We need to understand how are we planning to grow. Are we planning to grow by working ethically and truly? Or are we planning to climb on somebody's shoulder and get onto the top? So this is the question that we all should ask our own selves. That's because you will attract money. You will attract money in abundance if you are not harming anyone in your financial growth. Lesson number 9, taking calculated risks. While on one hand this book talks about to be careful with your money, but on the other hand it also talks about taking calculated risks to grow your wealth exponentially. However, the author also stresses that you should know the pros and cons of the risks that you are taking, the decisions that you are taking in your financial journey. Let's understand this with an example. Let's suppose tomorrow you decide to start investing and you want to invest into equities. So you should sensibly divide your money between the large cap, mid cap and the small cap. Because the small cap stocks are more risky, more volatile, so I would suggest you that put only 10% of your total investment into small caps. Now that is what you call a calculated risk taken. Lesson number 10, master your desires. This book stresses a lot on mastering your desires. It says that you should be the master of your desires. Your desires should not be your master. It lays stress on having the right kind of understanding of needs and wants and greeds. And you should be sensible enough to understand where to spend your money. Well, this stands so true in today's scenario. It is so difficult for us to master our desires, especially with the whole lot of advertisements all around us, with whole lot of shopping malls and billboards. We feel like spending on the stuff that we don't even need. But that's wrong, my dear friends. What we need to understand is having a self-discipline is the most important factor. If you have self-discipline, then only you can master your own desires. Otherwise, it will be next to impossible for us. So guys, let me give you a bonus lesson. The last lesson that I have learned from this book with regard to finances is planning your future in the right financial direction. That means it's less stress on having a right retirement plan. And it stands so true today. That's because what I believe is as soon as you get your job, the first thing that you should start saving for is your retirement plan. Because we need to understand one thing, my friends, that having a retired life without money is next to hell. We can't even imagine of having such a life. So my dear friends, whatever or wherever you are investing, make sure that you are also planning for your long-term goals and your retirement plans. Well, that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Those of you who wants to purchase this book, I will post the link below in the description. Please go click on the link and purchase this book. And once you read this book, please come back to tell us what you have learned from this book. We would love to read your comments. Thank you and goodbye.